Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 171. I know things look a little grim out there with the major spikes in COVID cases, so I sincerely hope that you and your loved ones are healthy and safe. I'm not a fan of being preachy, but please take the necessary precautions when you're out. You know what they are, right? That second wave is getting out of hand. But I digress. We do have a great Tech It Out show planned for you this hour. We're going to talk about saving money once again with Flipp. You know, that app that aggregates all your local circulars for you. You know, those paper ads that you get in the mail, but it puts them all in one place digitally on your smartphone or tablet. And it calls out the best deals as well. And speaking of shopping, we'll also talk about the popular StockX site where you get cool sneakers and collectibles and such. So that's going to be this hour as well when we get the CEO on the line. Tech and lifestyle expert Carley Knobloch will join us to share some cool tech gift ideas ahead of the holiday season. And we'll talk with Twitter about gaming. You know, the new Xbox and PlayStation 5 debuted this past week. So all of this and more on a brand new Tech It Out, powered by Asus, which I'll tell you more about shortly, but let's kick off this show. Despite it being the most unusual year, Black Friday and Cyber Monday are coming up when a good number of you will be picking up holiday presents for the family, or if you've had your eye on something for yourself. As we'll hear with our next guest, you most definitely will want the Flipp app installed on your phone or tablet, as you could potentially save a bundle on your purchases. As for how, we're going to learn now with Michael Silverman. He's the CEO of Flipp, whom we spoke with a bit last week. Welcome back to the program, Michael.
Thank you, Mark. Excited to be here again.
Before we talk about Black Friday and Cyber Monday, Michael, in case people didn't tune into our first interview last week, could give us a high-level overview of what Flipp is all about, the app, F-L-I-P-P.
Yeah, so thank you for clarifying that. One of the trickiest things we get caught up with shoppers is that there are two P's at the end of Flipp, but I appreciate the call out.
Sure.
So Flipp is really a free shopping app. What we do is we aggregate savings information to help our shoppers make informed shopping decisions. So we aggregate circulars, flyers, coupons, online deals. We really cover the gamut in order to support our shoppers. And what we've found is that our shoppers are able to use the app to save about an average of, let's say, $45 a week. And, you know, we at Flipp, we're really on a mission to help our shoppers live life affordably by connecting them with this savings and deal content.
All right. So instead of getting a Sharpie or a pair of scissors to that huge pile of circulars that we would get typically every week and going through them manually and getting newsprint on our hands, all of this is in the app. And you can do a search by keyword, or you can browse by your favorite stores. It knows the ones that are near you, and everything's up to date. So it's a great way to save money and super convenient because it's all in one place. And this app can be used for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, correct?
Absolutely. So what I would say is those two specific terms may no longer apply in the new normal. So,
True.
You know, in this world, Black Friday is no longer a day and Cyber Monday is no longer just Monday. What's really happened over the last few years and now been accelerated as a result of what's happening in the world around us is that this has really become like saving season. And so this is essentially like the new Black Friday. And what we found is that it's really happening now, right? So as early as late October, all the way through December, you see savings popping up left and right, retailers taking different approaches to supporting their shoppers during the holiday season. So the ideal time is really now. You go download the app for free, and you'll be able to start finding savings for the holiday season immediately.
Can you give us an example of how you can save money exactly while you're shopping for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or shopping season collectively?
Yeah, sure. So when I think about the shopper's goal during the season, it's really to stretch your dollar, maximize your value, if you will. So since the deals are happening earlier, there's an enormous amount of time to be monitoring the deals, tracking different items. So we just launched a new feature in the app that allows you to do this seamlessly. So we launched something called Watch List, where you can enter the items you're interested in tracking, and we will inform you about when they go on sale. So it essentially takes the guesswork out of the process, takes all the heavy lifting out of it. We'll do it for you. So you don't have to come in 10,000 times, check every different retailer's website. You tell us the item, we tell you the sale.
All right. So if I had my eye on an LG TV, for example, or an Epson printer or something, I can add that to my watch list. And then when it goes on sale, I'm notified on the app. Will I be notified whether I'm in the app or not? Like, will my phone actually vibrate and chime, and I can see that deal is on so I don't miss out?
Great question. Yeah. So we notify you largely through your notifications.
Right.
So you have to have your notifications on in order to leverage this tool. But it's an amazing tool that's already saving millions of people money on a weekly basis.
Right. Got it. Thanks for the clarification. And again, the notifications is optional. Some people prefer not to be notified, but if it's to save me money, I'm all for it. So
yeah, totally makes sense. I have a phone too, obviously, and I can't stand getting useless notifications, but this is an app that's all about saving our shoppers money. And in order to get the most out of that, I recommend turning your notifications.
Let's say there is a coupon for something that you've had your eye on, or if you are just doing grocery shopping, so forgetting Black Friday and Cyber Monday for a moment, how do you apply those coupons to your purchases?
Coupons are hugely valuable all year round, but this Black Friday season isn't really necessarily the time you're going to get the most out of coupons. The savings season now is really all about these deep discounts, these special moments.
Door crashers.
Yeah, exactly. And the watch list feature that I was just speaking to is really a hugely valuable tool for this time in particular, where you have an item you want to keep your eye on, and we do all the heavy lifting of letting you know when that special moment happens, when that steep discount happens at the retailer you weren't keeping an eye on. So we sort of act as your personal shopper for that.
And similar to that watch list is a smart shopping list. I think Flipp calls it a smart shopping list for obvious reasons. When you type in something you're looking for, the app will actually tell you what retailer near you has a sale on what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, which that tool set is available to you year round. And we found that, in getting feedback from our users, our shoppers, the ability to monitor and track savings is very, very valuable to our shoppers. It allows them to plan effectively, make informed decisions, and you can actually collaborate on this shopping list with the rest of your family. So having the ability to, in real time, add items, check things off from the list. So our smart shopping list is definitely valuable. But in this Black Friday season, this savings season, you really want to leverage that watch list, because that's going to be the thing that makes or breaks your holidays.
My son would add PlayStation 5 to the list for sure. And it's going to pop up on my wife and our phones for sure. If you find a great deal on Flipp, you were saying that you can also share it, right? Like if you want to tell your friends, your colleagues, your family members, you can do so from within the app.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I love about our app is just how straightforward and simple it is. In that vein, it's really 1, 2, 3, if you will. So you can find an item, tap on the item, and tap the share deal button, and share the deal with whomever you'd like.
Actually, a lot of my friends who use the Flipp app didn't know that if you tapped and held an item with your fingertip, it'll actually give you a bit of a review. It'll give you some specs and other features of what you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have what we refer to as the item details drawer. That's the technical jargon for it. But it's simple. It's you tap and hold on an item, and it pops up a details drawer. They give you all the information, all the associated data you want to know with that item.
Well, there you go. A pro tip, if you will, to using Flipp. We're chatting with Michael Silverman, CEO of Flipp. We're learning about the very popular shopping app. And speaking of the upcoming holidays, Michael, what do you anticipate will be some of the bigger tech toys that will be on many a gift list this year?
Absolutely. And we are in the unique position every year of being very close to what our retailers intend to do from a merchandising perspective, how they intend to offer special deals to their shoppers. So we track this, and as we're seeing some of this content come in and tracking the performance of some of the various deals, there are probably 4 critical items that I'd keep an eye on this year. So headphones for sure, AirPods, wireless buds, etc. Smart products, right? So the entire Amazon Echo, Alexa setup, that's proliferating across the entire internet. Various brands are producing similar products, but even smart doorbells, smart plugs, smart lights. So smart products in general. And then lastly, probably I'd keep an eye on, and I think you actually just mentioned it, but the PlayStation probably falls into the last category, which is gaming. So Nintendo Switch, PS5, these are items that you'll definitely find deals on.
Smart home tech has been enjoying year-over-year double-digit growth, especially we're spending a lot more time at home in 2020, let's face it. So I think things like video doorbells and Wi-Fi thermostats and all that are going to continue to do well. And then finally, let's just remind our listeners how to get going. So to download the Flipp app, it's as easy as just typing in the word Flipp at your favorite app store.
Yeah, it's go on to the Apple App Store, Google Play, type in Flipp, Flipp, and you will find our free app available for download. You can also visit app.flipp.com, again, 2 Ps, to learn a little bit more about the app.
All right, Michael, thank you very much once again, and I look forward to chatting with you next weekend for some Flipp tips and tricks. Again, that's Flipp.com. Thank you again for your time. Be well. Talk soon.
Thank you so much for having me, Mark.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out powered by Asus. We're going to chat with Twitter about gaming. Stick with us. We'll be right back on the Radio America Network.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. The show is powered by Asus, for those in search of incredible. Asus creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, and that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, smartphones, monitors, tablets, smartwatches, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. Big news in the interactive entertainment industry this week, with not one, but 2 new video game consoles debuting. On Tuesday, Xbox Series X from Microsoft debuted, followed by the PS5, PlayStation 5 from Sony on Thursday. Joining us to chat about gaming discussions and debates on Twitter before and after the console launches, we're joined by Connor Clarence from Twitter. Welcome to the show, Connor.
Great to chat with you, Mark. Thanks for having me.
All right, before we get our game on, since the start of the pandemic, Twitter seems to be the go-to social platform for news and discussions. Why do you think that is?
It's a great question. I think the live nature of our platform really allows for that healthy public conversation, which is something that as an organization we're really trying to push. It allows for that sort of to transpire. People are coming to Twitter to get information. We saw this massive spike in user growth in March with the pandemic and people trying to understand what was going on and get that information first and foremost. So the ability for people to get that information live and in the moment on Twitter, I think, is one of our superpowers. And then the other piece that I really enjoy is just the ability for any voice to be amplified on the platform. We've seen so many people that have sort of minor number of followers end up going viral because the content they put on is valuable and people attract to it. So I think if you're adding value to the timeline, you're able to sort of gain popularity on the platform. And all those things are things that I think people hold on to and what people see value in with Twitter.
And no doubt it was a big year, not just for the pandemic, but also for politics. So that's all, I think, fueling the discussions on Twitter as well. And we'll get to gaming in a moment. But speaking of Twitter, what new features debuted in 2020? Because I know there were a couple.
Yeah, one of my favorites is a feature called Conversation Controls. Conversation controls allows users to select who they want to be able to reply to a conversation. And that allows for these public one-to-one or one-to-few conversations, which are very different than the typical one-to-many conversations that you see on Twitter that are very prevalent. So one of the subtleties of this feature is that consumers can tag anyone who they want to join a conversation, or they share it just to their follower base, etc. But if you don't tag anyone, then only you can reply to the conversation.
All right, so from politics and health information to now entertainment, Twitter does seem to have its finger on the pulse of it all. Tell us about the console wars now with 2 new video game machines that debuted last week.
It's an exciting week. I mean, we get to have two consoles sort of 48 hours apart, which is always exciting. Conversations grew immensely during the Xbox showcase back in July when they showcased all the features and details, etc. The tweet volumes were up about 500% compared to the month prior. And then on the PlayStation 5 side of things, when they held their Future of Gaming event in June, it was 750% increase in tweet volumes on that day. And then when they did the actual showcase for the PS5 in September, again, just shy of 700% increase for that day to the month prior. So some incredible conversation. People are talking about and have been talking about for months seemingly these two consoles. And I'm sure as people get their hands on them and shipments come in, people will continue to talk about them.
All right, so lots of volume on Twitter for these new systems, no doubt, especially also given the pandemic. A lot of people were at home and they're looking for ways to stay entertained and maybe distracted with some of the grim news that's been out there. So gaming super hot in 2020, no surprise there. And then now ushering in the next generation of console wars. We're chatting with Connor Clarence from Twitter about the discussion and debates surrounding video gaming on the platform. And along with the unboxings and reviews that you've no doubt seen on Twitter this past week, there are also new video game emojis, right? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so if a user utilizes either hashtag Xbox or hashtag Xbox Series X, there's a little Xbox emoji. And the same thing takes place on the Sony side of things with hashtag PlayStation 5 or hashtag PS5. So do a tweet those and utilize those emojis, and you'll actually see a little custom emoji pop up. Really exciting way to celebrate the new systems.
Yeah, it's great. Finally, Connor, looking forward to 2021, what can Twitter users expect going forward? I'm not going to hold my breath for an edit button, but maybe you can tell us what we might see on the horizon.
I really think what we're going to see is more moments of shareability. So when you think about the most popular games that are sort of currently in the landscape, we talk about Among Us, we talk about Fall Guys, Animal Crossing, Fortnite, etc., and all the ones that have sort of just released over the last week for the new consoles. There's always this moment of shareability. So the emergency meeting in Among Us, the crown in Fall Guys, and those outfits in Animal Crossing, etc. These are all those things that fans want to share on platforms. And this creates memes, this creates conversation and communities of players. So when we look towards these two new platforms, what I'm really excited to see is how fans will utilize the new sharing functionalities of the platform. So Xbox Series X is releasing a share button. And then there's this interesting one, and it's a rumor, and it's definitely not there. But PS5 has this thing called scene tagging, where it would be the ability for a friend to sort of tag in and play a level. And when you think about the world of shareability, and one of the things we're really good about is that whole sharing and conversation around sharing, I think that's a really neat thing that gaming Twitter will probably lean into, is just how shareable and how we share things around gaming and esports moving into 2021.
And I guess you can't pull the curtain back too much, Connor, on other Twitter sort of features that may be on the horizon. You want to keep that tucked away until it's ready. I get that. No worries. No pressure. Connor Clarence, thanks so much for your time. Great to chat with you, and I'll look forward to hanging out with you on Twitter. You're at first name Connor. Thank you so much for your time. All the best.
Have a great one.
When we return on Tech It Out, we're going to learn about StockX with its CEO, huge company now, followed by a chat with Carley Knobloch about tech gifts and a lot more. Stick with us. More Tech It Out coming up right after this.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out. My youngest son, Ethan, who's 16, doesn't get impressed when I tell him who I'm about to interview on this show. Teenagers, right? But you should have seen his face when I told him I was going to chat about StockX with its CEO, no less. Scott Cutler is joining us. StockX, of course, is the place to buy and sell the hottest sneakers, including Adidas Yeezys and retro Jordans, as well as streetwear, collectibles, and other items. Scott, it's good to have you on the show. Thank you for your time.
So great, and I'm so excited. There's a connection to your son, your family, and teens around the world.
Yes, StockX is certainly hot, especially among that demographic. And Scott, previously you were also the executive vice president and head of global listings at the New York Stock Exchange, and you've also been an executive at eBay as well. So you certainly bring a lot of experience to the table, and no doubt a key reason for StockX's success. Now, before we talk about some Canadian-centric news, let's bring everyone up to speed. What is StockX all about?
So StockX, our vision is to be the world's leading consumer marketplace for high-demand consumer goods. Consumers of current culture today, the Gen Z audience, 75% of our customers are under the age of 35. These customers have an expectation that what they see on the feet of the athlete on or off the court, worn with influencer style from a social media influencer, or dropped with hype by an artist, they want access to these high demand yet scarce consumer goods. And this customer finds access to those products on StockX as a leading platform.
Is that one of the key differentiators between StockX and eBay? It's that you focus only on high-end or high-demand consumer goods, as you put it, but it's also in how you authenticate purchases between buyers and sellers, right?
Our commerce platform is different than other third-party marketplaces, and it's different based on a couple simple principles. One, we start with a product, not a listing that's generated by a seller. Our customers come to that product page, and on that product page, you can transparently see the prices which these products trade for in the market, similar to the way we go to exchanges and see the prices of how stocks are traded.
Okay.
And then those consumers can interact with each other based on a bid and an ask model. And the difference that we have relative to other third-party marketplaces is that we stand in the middle between the seller and buyer and authenticate every product prior to it getting into the hands of the buyer. And so it's a combination of experiences that we've created that's a very different experience than most other third-party marketplaces. And it's more similar to buying a product brand new for the first time from a brand. And that's the experience, but we deliver that through a global network of sellers, hundreds of thousands of sellers around the world.
Also, unlike eBay, all of StockX's inventory is new, from what I understand, and not, let's call it, previously enjoyed. And I know eBay is a mix.
Yes, everything on the platform is brand new that we sell. So what we're looking for when we authenticate a product, it has to be in its original box, in original packaging. It can never be worn. It has to be the right size, the right style, the right color. And then, of course, it has to be authentic. And so we're guaranteeing that brand new experience, but for a very expansive catalog of items, over 100,000 items that would be in our catalog. And those are items that might have been recently released in the last few weeks, but also product that might have been released years ago. And a majority of our transactions are actually items that are outside of its 8-week release window, but you're getting access to it authentically as if you were buying it for the first time. But yet everything that trades on the platform is largely being resold. And then increasingly, we're working with brands that are releasing product directly on the marketplace for the very first time. And that's certainly part of our future.
Thanks for the clarification. And again, resold, but not repurposed.
Correct.
We're chatting with Scott Cutler. He's the CEO of StockX. Approximately what percentage does StockX take out of that transaction? I'm just trying to get a better sense of the business model.
Yeah, so the business model, when an item is sold on the platform, typically the buyer would pay a tax wherever they're located. That would be true for most e-commerce platforms. We would charge a shipping fee, and then the buyers pay a processing fee that is around 3% for that transaction. And that would be typically the buyer, what they would be paying for. Now, of course, when it involves crossing borders, there's typically other fees that the buyer might have to pay. On the seller side, a seller pays us around a 9.5% fee plus a 3% payment processing fee that they would pay to us, similar to other marketplace fees that a seller would pay. And that's generally the economic model at StockX, fees from both buyers and sellers.
Thanks for breaking that down. How has StockX done since the start of the pandemic?
So the pandemic has affected us in somewhat unexpected ways, in the sense that we saw a surge in demand following the extreme months of the pandemic. And I think as you've seen this happen across other industries, we've seen an expansion of e-commerce. We've seen an expansion of buyers around the world. And so as a result, we've been expanding our authentication centers to really deliver on what we're seeing is an international, global expansion of the business.
Before we wrap up, Scott, how do we get going as buyers or sellers?
Well, it's so easy to transact on StockX. If you're a buyer, you come to StockX searching for a product. You typically know what you want, and then you can see exactly what it is trading for, and you can decide to buy it at the lowest price that any seller is willing to sell that to you around the world. Or you could put a bid on that product and see if you could get it at a lower price. And if you're a seller, you don't have to upload a photo, a description, a seller rating. Anybody can sell. You just come to the site and say, I'm willing to sell this product, and name your price. And so it's a very dynamic opportunity, and that represents an economic opportunity for every seller who sells on the platform.
Okay, so the best website to learn more, I'm assuming, is StockX.com, but it's also an app. Is it more popular through a web browser than it is on an app, or the other way around?
We have consumers on either side that come to us on desktop, on mobile web, or of course on the app. Most transactions happen on the app, but it's a really dynamic experience if you happen to be searching on desktop as well.
Okay, StockX.com, or go to the App Store for iPhone and iPad, or the Google Play Store for Android devices, and just type in StockX, no space. Scott, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on the success of StockX to date. I know you're just getting going, but very impressive so far, and I wish you continued success going forward.
Thank you so much. Real pleasure.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
This, my friends, is Tech It Out, powered by Asus, the company that creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. And that includes its award-winning laptops. As we heard last week, there are 4 different lines of laptops. There's the Chromebooks, great for students. They're affordable. VivoBooks, sort of everyday laptops, lots of color and style, great bang for your buck. Then there's ZenBooks, cutting-edge technology. It's all about innovation. And then ExpertBooks for businesses. So very cool stuff. Asus.com/US/radio to learn more. That's ASUS.com/US/radio. Believe it or not, the holiday shopping season is already upon us. And despite the most strange year we've just endured, you're likely to still want to buy some great gadget gifts for loved ones or yourself. And so who better to chat with than tech lifestyle expert Carley Knobloch? We've got her on the line with some of her top tech gift ideas this season. Hi, Carley. Good to chat with you again.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here with you again, and I've partnered with some really cool brands today. Some great stuff here. It's early days for holiday shopping, so I hope there's some good recommendations that everyone will enjoy.
Yeah, well, with Black Friday and Cyber Monday around the corner and then other deals heading into the holidays, it isn't too early. So why don't we start off with a no-brainer for a stocking stuffer?
Yeah, totally. I feel like there isn't anyone on my list that wouldn't like a good, fresh, new pair of wireless earphones. I have a really affordable pair here, the Beats Flex. They're under $50. They go with all your Apple and Android devices. They're very cool looking and stylish, in stylish colors, just like all Beats products are. Plus, they have the magnetic auto play pause, which is really convenient. 12-hour battery life, upgraded microphone, impressive sound, and easy USB-C charging. Again, they're just perfect for everyone, I think.
All right, so they're called the Beats Flex. And you said they're under $50, and it'll work with both iPhone and Android devices. And if it's Bluetooth, it could also likely work with a tablet or a laptop as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Super versatile and really stylish. And they're on a cord. They're wireless, but they're on a cord, which I actually really prefer because I feel like I have anxiety when I have the true wireless, and then I'm worried that I'm going to lose one. So these are just really durable and in fun, bright colors, and black, of course, too. And so they're just kind of like ready to roll wherever you go.
Okay, so we've covered audio. What other tech trends do you think will be big this holiday season?
Yeah, virtual reality continues to be a big trend each holiday season. I have here the Oculus Quest 2, which is the newest VR headset from Facebook. It makes it really easy for friends and family, everyone to dive into the fun and games because it's just really easy to use. They're wireless, they're super fast, they're high resolution. Plus, at $299, they're the most affordable headset that they've ever released. They start at $299. You can find those at Oculus.com. And then I have another product from Facebook that is also, I think, a big trend this year, which is video calling. So the portal from Facebook makes it easy to stay in touch with loved ones, which really makes you feel like you're hanging out, even if you can't be together. You can find at portal.facebook.com, and it is $179.
All right. Before we talk about gaming, and you've already touched on it a bit with the Oculus Quest 2, which I really like, by the way, for virtual reality gaming. Before we move on from that and talk Nintendo, do you have any options for people looking for ways to perhaps finance some of their holiday shopping this year, given the year that we've had?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. There's so many people that can use help at checkout this year. So Affirm is a really great payment option. You can think of it kind of like a more transparent, flexible alternative to credit cards. It lets you split your purchase into bi-weekly or monthly payments at over 6,000 retailers like Walmart and Adidas. Once you're approved, the whole process is really simple and transparent. There's no hidden or late fees ever. You can learn more at affirm.com.
So without further ado, let's talk more about gaming. It's not just about the new consoles that debuted this past week from Xbox and from PlayStation, but Nintendo, they want to stay in the game as well, pardon the pun. What do they have this year?
I like the pun. And yeah, GameStop definitely has all the things you need for the gamers on your list, but really that's becoming the whole family, I think, especially with a console like Nintendo. Because it just, everybody enjoys it, and there's so many games that are just really family friendly. We love ours for sure. Nintendo Switch is really designed to go wherever you go too, which is cool. So it transforms from a home console to a portable gaming system in a snap. And you can really take it, anywhere with you. It means you can take it on a road trip, even if you're mid-game, and you just grab it and go, and you can continue your play. And the Nintendo Switch is $299.99. And then to go with that, you're definitely going to want to check out Super Mario Brothers 3D All-Stars, which allows you to play 3 of your favorite plumber's adventures all in one package. We are big Mario fans in our house. The Mario game is $59.99. And then they also have this really cute, if you are a Mario fan like we are, Super Mario Brothers Running Mario case for your Nintendo Switch. If you're taking it with you on the go, you want to have a protective case like that, and it's $19.99. And there's so many other great gift ideas, including the Oculus Quest 2, by the way, which you can get at GameStop. And you want to go to GameStop.com/gift-hub to see all of these great gaming gift ideas.
Okay. And again, probably some Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals coming up. And then for everything we've chatted about today, Carley, is there a website you'd recommend to maybe see them in action or read a little bit more about them?
Totally. You can always head to techgifts.tv to learn more about everything we talked about.
All right, techgifts.tv. Carley Knobloch, it's been great chatting with you as always. I hope you have a good holiday season. I think we're going to chat again, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll talk soon.
Yay. Okay, looking forward to it too. Thanks.
Ciao. Once again, that was Carley Knobloch. Stick around. A lot more Tech It Out coming up right after this short break.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
So as you heard earlier in the program when we chatted with Twitter that the new Xbox and PlayStation 5, PS5 debuted this past week. Big news in the interactive entertainment space. This is a $130 billion space worldwide. So no doubt every 6 or 7 years when new consoles debut, it is a big deal. And Xbox and PlayStation always go head to head when it comes to power and performance. Nintendo takes a slightly different approach, as we heard with Carley about the Nintendo Switch. It's more portable and they've got some other fun things that they do with it, but they're not really in the game of power and performance. So look, I've had some hands-on time with both the Xbox Series X, which debuted on Tuesday, and the PS5, which came out on Thursday. Very hard to say which one is the winner. I mean, it's too early to tell. It's all about the games. In terms of power, they're both comparable. The Xbox Series X has a lot of power under the hood. It's got 12 teraflops of processing power. It can render graphics up to 8K resolution for those TVs that can support it, up to 120 frames per second for silky smooth motion. And of course, it's going to play all the latest games, NBA 2K21, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Call of Duty that's coming out. It'll also play upcoming exclusives like Halo Infinite coming in 2021, futuristic sci-fi first-person shooter, and it's backward compatible to play Xbox One games. But not a lot of exclusives at launch, so it's a bit of a leap of faith. If you like the Xbox Game Pass service, which I really like, I'll tell you more about that in a moment, then this console is for you. We'll get to PS5 in a moment, but in terms of pricing, the Xbox Series X sells for $499, while the less expensive, slightly smaller, and slightly less powerful Xbox Series S is $299. Now, you do have an option to pay it off over 24 months, and that includes the ability to play 100 high-quality games a month, and they change them up. It's a service called Xbox Game Pass. So for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, it's kind of a financing model. If you want that less expensive Xbox Series S, it's $29 a month for 24 months. That includes the console and one controller, as well as the Game Pass. So you've got 100 plus games to play. For $39 a month, you can get the Xbox Series X. That's the flagship, more powerful box, a lot more power under the hood, and that's $499 outright or $39 a month for 24 months, including support for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. All right, now on to PS5. This came out on Thursday, and unlike the black, mysterious look of the Xbox Series X, this is tall, white with some black highlights and illuminated blue when it's lit up. It's a very different style. In terms of power, it's comparable to the Xbox. The PS5 can also do up to 8K graphics. It also has an SSD or solid state drive instead of a hard disk drive for faster performance, lots of RAM or system memory, and all of that. It does play current games, including exclusives like Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure, based on the Little Big Planet character. And it's got other games, as well as others that, of course, Xbox has as well, like the Call of Duties and all that. And Sony says it'll play 99% of PS4 games. There are two versions of the PS5. They're both the same in terms of power. So unlike Xbox, both PS5s are the same in power, but you'll save if you don't need a disk drive. So the PS5 Standard Edition is $499, and that includes a Blu-ray disc player. So it'll play Blu-ray discs, movies, as well as DVDs and PS4 games. But if you don't need a disk drive, it's $399 for the PS5 digital version for that console there. If you can find them, both the Xbox Series X and PS5 are hard to find. A lot of people are seeing that the winter's coming. They're going to be cocooning, having a staycation. Not to mention the pandemic. They're not maybe socializing as much in person, even though you can socialize during gameplay over the internet and chat with your buddies at the same time. Or you're spending your vacation money on gaming and other home entertainment instead of flying off somewhere exotic because of the pandemic. For whatever the reason, gaming is super hot. Very hard to find these consoles. So good luck to you. All right, Xbox Series X and PS5. That's my quick take on both of them. They've been a lot of fun, but you're future-proofing your investment. Not a lot of games to start. It's going to get a lot better. Hey, which one did you invest in, if any? Let me know on social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, Saltzman with a Z. I'd love for you to say hi on social. Let me know what you think of Tech It Out. If you've got any feedback on the program, things you like or don't like about it, you've got suggestions for upcoming topics or guests, I'm all ears. But let me know also if you're a gamer, send me some pics of your machine, your setup. I'd love to see it. And don't forget, if you're buying a new console, go to the Slick Deals website or download the app or install the free browser extension for Chrome, Edge, or Firefox. Slick Deals has the largest community of deal finders on the internet. These are people who, and that can include you, find the best sales out there, post them, and they get vetted and voted up to the front page so you know what the hottest deals are. And that includes on gaming and accessories, as well as other tech and clothing and home decor items and a lot more. I especially encourage you to install the free browser extension at slickdeals.net/radio. That's slickdeals, one word, .net/radio. Thank you for tuning in to Tech It Out, everyone, powered by Asus for those in search of incredible. Have a safe week ahead, and I look forward to catching up with you next weekend on a brand new episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.